Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. This is a podcast about the strange and unusual, the secret and conspiracies, the fringe and supernatural. This is a show where we do little to no research on our topics. We are not professionals in any field except speculation. This is the Secret Transmission Podcast. I am your host, Toby, and I've got my lovely co-host with me. Please go around and introduce yourselves.
I'm Rudy.
Kristen.
Toni.
Toni's actually going to say stuff this episode, unlike our Ed Gein episode. She was very quiet in the background and didn't want to say anything until we started recording. So, welcome to the show, Toni, officially.
Thank you.
So today, we are going to be talking about cryptids, or cryptozoology. That is the study of odd creatures such as Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, the Jersey Devil, the Goatman. I don't know. Those are all the more popular ones. But today we've done research on obscure ones that you may not know about, and we're each going to tell you about them. And we're going to roll these dice right here. There's one for you, one for you. All right. Everyone roll your dice, and hold on. Are we going to say highest goes first or lowest goes first?
You're the host. Choose.
Highest? Lowest goes first. Lowest goes first. Okay, so roll your dice. That's your dice. Kristen rolled a 2.
Which means I'll roll a 1.
Rudy rolled a
You wish.
4. So, here we go.
10.
4. So
I win.
Kristen goes first. And me and you need to roll again so we can decide who goes second.
Alright.
I rolled a 3, you rolled a 6. So you're going to be the headliner. You're going last.
Alright.
Alright.
Beach in the head.
So, Kristen, take it away. It's all yours.
Okay, so I'm not even going to tell you what it is. I'm just going to go into it. Okay, so picture yourself on a nice sunny but chilly day. Nature noises everywhere, and a cooler of goodies just on the shore. The fire is going, and you're ready to char and sear the yumminess you're soon to catch. When it happens, that awesome lure you tied just right gets snagged up. Your line is tugging and bending like crazy. All of a sudden, your hard work pays off, and you reel in the most beautiful fish ever. And not beautiful to eat, but because your catch comes out looking like Richard Gere. Fit for a platter. This is the furry fish. This is a creature in North America and Iceland, and according to tales, the trout has created a thick coat of fur to maintain body heat. Tales date back to 17th century, and there are no current examples that it is real, although it is said to eat frozen worms and eggs of other animals that are down deep in the river that it lays. There is, though, hair-like growths on fish that are known as cotton mold, and it's called saprolegnia. There is a fish called the hairy fish, or a I think it's Mirarina, or a Mirapina eswa, which has hair like outgrowths and wing-like features. Okay, so the Icelandic legend believed this is a creation of demons and giants, described as the inedible fish that overwhelms rivers as a punishment to human wickedness. So for all the wickedness that's ever done on the earth, instead of you...
they were the furry fish was put in the rivers as a punishment to humans?
Mostly people, how they got their food source was by fishing.
Right.
So they put the furry fish in there so that... Because they're inedible.
Who punished them? The gods or giants or something? What'd you say?
Demons and giants.
Okay.
And
So they're just being dicks about the fish.
Because the furry fish is considered inedible. So the funny part is said that the fur trout was the result of hair tonic being spilt into the water, and to catch the trout, the fishermen would portray themselves as barbers and lure them with free cuts and shaves.
Shut up. Is that really?
Yeah, that's what I found. And then in the USA, it was a catch and release situation that if caught and bigger than your foot, you threw it back. And if the same size, you could keep, skin, try to eat it, and make slippers with the fur. That was the rule.
And where is this at? This is in
In the
America?
USA.
So, okay.
But there's been no proven like stuff of it. So this fish is considered fictional and only folklore. Most people believe it is a hoax by fishermen that cover their fish in rabbit fur and mount it on the wall for a great story. And I do not believe in the fur fish, but I do believe that the fungus can get out of control to make it fit the script.
Oh, like fungus
The
on...
fungus that grows, so there's a fungus that's called the white cotton, and it can, in times, get out of control, and it
on
makes
the
them
fish.
cause the white grow first, but not like the growing of the fur, but it's not exactly like what they're showing in pictures. They're saying they are...
There are pictures, like taxidermy pictures.
There are, but they're saying that that's whenever they have covered it. It's a pretty good idealistic version of rabbit fur covering a fish for a good story. And it is in the Museum of Hoaxes.
I like the idea, though, that it was, like, demons demons or giants.
Cursing the rivers.
Just being dicks and being like, here's a fish you can't eat and you're starving, so have this furry fish.
Yeah. But on the ones that had the white cotton mold, if you cut that completely off, you can see where it's almost as if they have like a pigment disorder where the fungus was, and so after it gets all the way down, because I mean you skin it completely.
Can you eat the ones that have the fungus on them still, or is that?
I wouldn't.
Well,
Would that fungus make you sick?
I would skin it just like you would a normal fish. That's the outside
Yeah,
of
but
it.
what if it goes onto the inside of the fish though? What if it causes almost like a parasite to your
Never
body?
know.
You're gonna start growing white fur and be like, oh,
Well, just like
furry.
who decided that poisonous berries were poisonous berries? You gotta try it.
This
Well,
is
you will
true.
be the one that tries it if we ever catch a furry fish.
I'm so hungry. I need a berry. Oh, that one's poison.
So,
Dying now.
There's a museum of hoaxes.
Yes, and that's what I was excited about because I know that you would like that and that maybe we could one day go.
Oh, where's that at? Do you know? Did you?
No, probably somewhere far away. It's not near us.
In Iceland.
In Icelandic in Northern America.
All right. Well, should we take a quick break, or do you have anything else you want to add to it?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. Well, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, I guess I'm telling you my story, or my cryptid. So we'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Jason Blute,
And I'm Crises.
and we are the Crises vs. Blute Show, and we are your World Intergender Tag Team Champions.
Of the world.
We're a podcast about wrestling, horror,
And whatever the hell else we feel like talking about.
so if that whets your appetite, join us every week as we cover any topic we want. You can check us out on iTunes and SoundCloud, and check us out on social media at the KVSB Show.
Vigilance, courage, and knowledge. If you like these qualities, then my show, IPE Pod Radio, may be for you. Oh yeah. Do you like vampires, demons, and all that go boo-boo in the night? Well, you shouldn't, because vampires and demons are very, very dangerous. If you want to educate yourselves regarding these dangers, then you better listen to the show. Our website is www.ipepodradio.com. You can find our episodes on iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. So begin utilizing the time of your ever so fragile lives to listen to our wonderful educational program. Thank you very much.
And welcome back. So, Kristen, during the break, told us that there was extra information that she forgot to share with us about her furry fish.
Oh yeah, I forgot to share that the reason why the Alaskan furfish, or the I guess it's just furfish to some people, the reason why it grows the fur in the winter is to keep it warm, but the reason why no one can ever find one is because by the time it comes fishing season, it always sheds its fur, so there is none to be found.
So it could be real,
It could be real, but
and it just sheds.
yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, people really do think that, like the Loch Ness Monster is real, and I mean, that's a gigantic animal in the freaking ocean and sea, or in the sea.
No, it's not in the sea. The Loch Ness Monster is in Loch Ness, which is like a lake.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
There's been more reports of it than that, just in the Loch Ness.
Well, I mean, there might be other...
Just like Bigfoot.
But see,
Bigfoot's
that's the thing.
all over the world.
There may be different cryptids that look exactly like Bigfoot, Sasquatch.
So what you're saying is, if
There's-
it comes out and it speaks, it's going to have a different accent because it's in a different...
Possibly. Well, like Bigfoot,
Good eye, mate.
there's
I'm the
different
Loch Ness.
there's different Sasquatches. There's like the Yetis, which are similar to Sasquatch.
Yeti coolers? No, I'm
what?
just kidding.
No, come on now. But there's this different of the same type of cryptids. So I mean, there might be some kind of Loch Ness type of creature in the ocean that we don't know about. There's a lot of unknown in the ocean, so even the kraken could be in there.
Don't say that. I really like the lake, okay? And I already am afraid of the lake because of gars. Those things
sorry.
are scary.
I'm afraid of krakens.
Have y'all seen that picture of that big, huge anaconda?
Nope.
Megalodon
Nope.
thing
We
That's
in
a
the
crypt-
lake?
That's a cryptid too, actually.
No.
The mega
Look.
anaconda, it's a cryptid too, but if it's been sought out and it's been seen, then it could become true. But it is on the cryptid list.
Did you found where the Museum of Hoaxes was?
Yes. They actually do have a place, San Diego, California. If you go to their website at hoaxes.org, it gives you all their information.
How much did they pay you for that ad?
I'm not telling.
Oh.
I'm, non-disclosures and all
Yeah,
that.
and Yeti Cooler, we're going to cut that out unless you sponsor us.
Okay, so my cryptid is the Beast of Bladenboro. Bladenboro is a small community surrounded by pine forests and swamps at the southeastern edge of North Carolina. In 1953, a dog was found dead in Clarkton, North Carolina, about 8 miles away from Bladenboro. Police Chief Roy Forrest reported the witness as describing the creature that killed the dog as a sleek, black, about 5 foot long creature. And that was on December 29th, 1953. On December 31st, 2 dogs who belonged to Johnny Voss in Bladenboro were found dead. Johnny's quote, "The top of the dog's heads were torn off and its body was crushed and wet, like it had been in the thing's mouth. The dog's lower jaw was torn off." The next day, on January 1st, 2 more dogs were found dead in Bladenboro. According to the witness, one of the dogs was sort of eaten up. On January 2nd, a farmer, Gary Callahan, reported that one of his dogs had been killed. On January 3rd, 2 more dogs were found dead. One of the dogs was autopsied. The police chief, Forrest, reported there wasn't more than 2 or 3 drops of blood in the dog. The victim's bottom lip had been broken open and his jaw was smashed back. He also reported the ear of one of the dogs was gnawed off and the tongues of the 2 had been chewed out. On January 5th, a pet rabbit was found cleanly decapitated and still warm. On January 7th, another dog was found dead in a pasture near Bladenboro, near the swamp. It's also been claimed that goats, cows, and hogs had suffered the same fate in this area. One report said a man watched from his service station as a dog was attacked by a large creature and dragged into the woods. People said they saw an animal like a bear or a panther and was 3 feet long, 20 inches high, with a tail and a cat's face, with a long tail and a cat's face. Others reported the creature's sound coming from the swamp, saying it sounded like a woman with a knife stuck in her back. A team of professional hunters were brought in to track down the creature. They could only find footprints the size of silver dollars. How big's a silver dollar? I thought they were pretty small.
It's about almost an inch.
Like that.
See, okay, so that's the only thing in my research that I kind of found weird, like silver dollar tracks, and that's it.
Sounds like a fox.
It was also reported in the local newspapers that the creature attacked Miss C.E. Kinslaw. She heard a sound on January 5th. It was dogs whimpering outside of her house. She went outside to see what was going on. That's when she saw the large cat-like creature rush her. She screamed, and her husband came running outside and supposedly scared off the creature, and it ran back into the woods. After the paper reported this, the town was overwhelmed with all the hunters coming in to kill the beast. On January 13th, the mayor, Bob Fussell, and the chief called an end to the hunt. They had found an unusual large bobcat that had been trapped by a local farmer. The men hung it on the flagpole in the center of town and posted a sign under it saying, "This is the beast of Bladenboro." After a week or so, everything went back to normal, but many believe the bobcat was not the blood-draining creature, but whatever it was still out there.
That's my next guess, is a bobcat.
So, that's not where the story ends. A lot of people speculate that this was just a giant hoax, and that there was a bobcat, whatever it may have been, out there. But it's said that the mayor operated the town theater, and supposedly, when all this ruckus started coming up, he went and got a movie called The Big Cat or something like that, and started playing it in the theater, and started saying, "You can see the creature here at our screens." So it may have been something was happening, so he tried to cash in on it to try to make a little money off his movie theater, and he was showing this movie, and then it started just getting people crazier and more terrified of. They've seen this movie, they have these incidents happening where all these dogs and all these other animals are being killed, and then that's when all the hunters came in.
Well, what if it is a bobcat or something like that? And it has rabies. Because if an animal has rabies, it intensifies everything about them 20 million times. And if you've ever even had any research or anything about it, all it takes is for I think maybe 20 pounds of pressure to rip a dog's jaws in half. So if you have an animal that has rabies and their strength intensifies, then you could easily tear apart an animal quickly.
Right. Well,
and go about it.
And then with the added, town being terrified because of this movie, and everyone's imagination running wild that they're seeing this great big beast of a monster. So now...
But I am going on, this is just going out there real wildly, what if they wanted more, tourism to their town, and somebody actually just had, you could take an imprint of someone's teeth, an animal, say if I have a coyote or a bobcat's old bones
biting down,
and I can come out looking like an animal, and I can slither back in, and I can make it look like it was another animal by using their teeth imprints on it, and then it looks like a animal biting down. That's going to the most extreme, but if you want tourism to your town, obviously he wanted, because he was playing that video,
right? Well, and
he could go to the extreme.
So the reason people say that, they did catch a bobcat and they did hang it up, but some people believe that they found a bobcat to string up because all the hunters that were coming to their town, it was getting out of control. Because someone was going to get shot is what they were worried about. Everyone's searching out in the woods and these swamps. Someone's going to end up getting hurt trying to look for this creature that's not really there. So they kind of supposedly had staged the bobcat as the
culprit.
Yes. So.
Well, are bobcats indigenous to that area?
Well, no. In 2007, the beast returned, apparently, to North Carolina, in Lexington. 60 goats were found with their blood drained and their heads crushed. 30 miles away in Greensboro, another farmer lost his goats in the same way.
Sounds like a cult.
Maybe. I didn't think about that. In Bolivia, a man named Bill Robertson lost his pit bull to the creature. He buried it, but the next day it was in the same location where it was killed. 4 days later, another resident, Leon Williams, found his pit bull dead. It was covered in blood, and it was missing a few body parts.
Sounds like someone who's using the deaths of everything else as a cover-up to kill his pit bulls.
Well, other places lost a total amount of 10 dogs in just 2 weeks. More tracks were found. These tracks measured 4.5 inches in diameter. In 2008, the show Monster Quest did a search for the beast. They concluded that people may have been seeing and killing was a cougar. However, cougar has been dismissed as extinct throughout the east coast of America, except the tip of Florida.
Where was this again?
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
They have mountains. Could be a mountain lion.
Right.
Mountain lion, if it's been up there for a long time, it can grow in size
Well,
really crazily. And then if you...
Any animal left alone in nature can grow massive in size, especially if it's not, messed with by humans.
4.5 inches in diameter. I mean, that could be a gigantic mountain lion.
But still,
Which
it's
could
taken out-
make sense about the bobcat situation.
it's taken
Because they
out a
do
lot
get
of
confused
animals.
a lot if you don't know what they are.
Do you believe that it was just maybe some kind of big cat, or do you believe that
I believe it was a mountain lion on rabies.
But what about the blood being drained from them?
Well, that's where I said it could be a cult. A cult. That's why my whole
Yeah, but-
entire theory of somebody using, so they don't get caught using another animal's body parts to make it look like it was an animal.
Yeah, but 60 goats?
that's
Was
a
it
big
one-
sacrifice.
Was it one night, or was it...
I
mean,
I didn't read that, but
You
still,
never
They
know.
were Muslims.
still-
It had to be kosher.
but still, 60 goats, even over let's say a month time period, 30 days. That's 2 goats a day.
Right.
That's still kind of
But
ridiculous.
also, though, you got to understand, here in Texas, we have a bad problem with coyotes, and they take them back to their dens. I don't know a lot about mountain lions. They may have a whole den that can come out, and at a certain point in time, could clear out. If they hibernate, I don't know if they hibernate, but if they hibernate and they come out and they're hungry, I'm sure if they come in a group of 12, 60 is not bad, especially if they're just training.
How scary would it's chupacabra? How scary would that be though if 60 goats were killed in one night?
Get cows.
Oh, I know.
I haven't heard of any cows being damaged in this whole entire situation, so maybe you should be a cow farmer
No,
instead
no,
of a goat
No,
farmer.
but that is
Cow-
a lot because they
cows and
usually, if you
hogs.
think about hyenas, they only kill one lion for their feast for forever. So that
Well,
would be.
but there's a lot of things that are kind of weird on the situation too, though. We don't know if there were 60 goats are gone. What if there's a feud between families on land? What would you do? I'd go in and I'd kill their livestock.
You're a bitch.
Hey, I'm the same
Well-
person who believes in some weird shit. Okay.
Was the
So,
blood really
you know,
drained, or was that
that's-
an exaggeration?
Or
Was
is it
that
after
an
a bite?
exaggeration of the story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After the bite was done, did it drain out?
Well, I think your body's gonna hold, or a dog.
Because
or
I know I
goat
have heard
is
in
gonna-
past times, cults are going to leave them right there on your front doorstep for when you first walk out, you're going to see them. Or it's going to be a line of them to where you know that they were there and they did it. So.
Yeah, I mean, if it was colts, there'd be pentagrams.
I mean, there
everywhere.
could be a lot of... But after you told the story about the guy who was doing the video, the mayor, I guess it was,
See, that's
or the townsman, that seems like I would... Those are stories that are easily to believe and that could be boiled up to big things. That way people are like, oh man, something's going... Like I did, It could be a cult. It could be... some weird shit going on. So I would want to travel that
what
town
if
to
the mayor
debunk
was
the
the
thing.
cult leader and that was his cover up, and then it started getting out of hand?
It's got a big ass cult, 60 goats.
But the 60 goats was a different town, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. And the rest of the town, that
Maybe they were trying to feed off the fire.
But why goats? I mean, that's so just one animal.
Well, at
Goats are
the first
overpopulated.
sightings
They
were
may be
okay. They gotta think. The first sightings were
Billy
in
goats.
1953, and it was all dogs and cats, or maybe not cats,
but
but
it just went to strictly goats, though. That's just weird for just 60 goats in one night. Just not to be
we
any
don't know
other
if it was
animal.
one night, but
Yeah, but
still,
how don't goats sleep in a weird position at night? Like, don't they?
I don't know.
Where you could probably kill them
how many
easily.
goats?
I
don't
think
know.
they stand whenever they sleep.
I
Kinda
think they
like,
sit.
out
I'm
of
just arguing with you
town.
now.
I'm just trying to, I'm just
That
putting it out
just
there.
seems
That's what we're
like
here for,
something
right?
like if you're gonna do 60 goats, and it's just strictly goats, some animal.
But
Like
that's
that's
their-
just
see,
weird.
If that's their
It's
farm,
like a preference.
if that's their farm, it's just like if you have cattle or cows, and I want to take you down and make you feel like your whole. Because a lot of people do that because they want the farmer to feel like their land is plagued. And that way they won't continue to grow. They won't
Is it
continue to
proven
do
that it was
anything, and then
60?
they will sell.
Well, I mean that's just what I read.
It could be an exaggeration.
It could be an exaggeration. It could have been, again. It could have been 60 over a 5-month time period. It could have been 60 over a day's time period. I don't really know all the details on it. Anyways, we're gonna take another break, and then when we come back, Rudy's gonna tell us all about his cryptids.
What did you do?
He can't tell you yet.
Sorry.
He can't tell you yet. We'll be right back.
To be continued.
To be continued. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Chris Carlson, host of the Wire and Wick podcast. What is the Wire and Wick podcast, you ask? Well, it's a little of this and a little of that. I cover some of the biggest stories every week, from politics, social issues, all the way to people just being stupid people, all from a center-left perspective. I also do my best to keep you up to date with the latest news in the world of vaping, from new products to government regulations and what they mean for you. Check us out on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts, as well as thewireandwickpodcast.com.
Our state of mind, our perception, our thoughts build up the world around us. Do you want to be a slave of your mind, or seize control and live the life you've always wanted? The choice is yours. Join me on Almighty Psyche and find out how you and I are the creators of our own universe. Follow me on Twitter, Almighty Psyche. Follow me on Facebook.com/AlmightyAndre. Send me an email for any questions or any topics that you'd like to cover at almighty.andre@genkstudios.com, almighty.andrey@genkstudios. See you soon, almighty listeners.
And welcome back. So, Rudy,
Yes, sir.
it's all on you now. You
All
are
right.
you are the main event.
Oh, good, great.
don't let us down.
Yeah.
It better be good.
Okay,
No
so-
pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. I
Just make
appreciate
it really
that.
good.
Yeah. Okay, so the one I picked is a lot more obscure than what you guys picked, and it seems to stem a lot more from lore and mythology than it does actual, like, events. I chose the Bakeneko, which is a type of yokai cat, which, if you've ever looked at Japanese mythology, there's plenty of yokai, and there's plenty of, like, cat-like yokai, specifically. And one in particular is the Nekomata, which I bring it up because it can be confused with the Bakeneko quite a bit. There's a lot to this thing. Writings on it date back to the Kamakura period, which is dated from 1185 to 1333.
Jeez.
So yeah, the mythology for these cats is quite extensive. How they're created, that's kind of another story. There's several different methods to how these creatures can come about. One is if someone causes harm to a cat and kills it, it can come back as one of these creatures.
Ugh.
If, like, you own a cat and it lives to be a certain age, it can possibly turn into one. So the older a cat gets, the more likely it is to turn into one of these yokai.
So are they mean? Are they vicious? Are they?
Some are playful. Some of them, okay. Just bear with me. Some of them, all they do is they wear napkins on their heads and they dance around. Others bring you misfortune because of bad deeds you've done. So, the scope of what they do varies depending on how they were created.
Right. So if it's a long live cat that lived with you and you had a good life, it may just be playful and happy with you.
Right.
If you killed it's gonna be a dick to you forever.
Pretty
I'm
much.
sorry, Tom. I'm sorry from here on out.
Yeah,
Tom is our big long-haired gray cat that is always really mean, so I'm always
He's
kinda...
not mean. He's
All cats are mean.
You're mean.
So I'm always kind of
Bitch.
really kind of bitchy towards him. I'm sorry. We're gonna live a nice long life from here on out.
You don't want him haunting you now?
Oh hell no!
Well, get ready because it might happen.
Because he already weighs down my sheets at night. Whenever I'm trying to snuggle up, I'm like,
That's why they suck the breast out of babies.
I can't sit there and like pull my sheets up on me. And I look down at the end of my bed, and it's him, and he's like wide-eyed and
Trying to
just
suck the breath
He's
out.
like,
Oh.
wait, why did you move everything? I was
Yeah.
comfortable.
See, I'm hoping my cat gets old enough to where he's like, yo, feed me, bro. I'm getting old. I can't do this anymore.
You have a cat too.
Yeah,
oh,
one
they're
little
both
kitty.
cat men.
Yeah.
That's
For
why
everybody
if you
listening
notice,
to this,
both of our
we have two-
cryptids were cats.
And I
Two
wasn't
men here
going to
that
do
are
a cat.
lovers.
I wasn't going to do a cat because this chick was like, you doing
Bakeneko?
Neko?
I said, are you going to do a Bakeneko, which is
Yep.
the lucky cat?
I was gonna do a carnivorous tree, and then I was like, this
I saw that too. I was going to do that.
Were you?
I
And
thought
I was
about
going
it,
to
yeah.
do the anaconda because Toby loves
Right.
snakes.
This-
Somebody should have did the megalodon. I was so interested in
the
megalodon.
megadong.
The megalodon. It was on Shark Week like 2 years ago, and it was so interesting. It was crazy.
So, what else about these creatures? Like, how is there? If they're evil, is there any way of getting rid of them?
Yeah, actually, most yokai in the Japanese culture can be slain by conventional methods. So if one shows up, you can just kill it.
No, just stab it with
Right.
a fork or
Right.
whatever you have handy.
Yeah, whatever you have handy. I mean, I haven't read anything about there being any kind of supernatural way to kill a supernatural creature on here. If you have a sword, use it.
Right.
So, okay, now some of these there's actually I found like examples of like 3 shrines that have been built for these things. One of them I can't even begin to pronounce how this.
Oh, I want to hear you
word is.
try it.
Okay, Miotara Tenyo.
Damn, that looked pretty correct. I mean, I don't know. We'll just say that. That was good.
It's a little shrine at like a it's a soy sauce place. Like either they sell it or they manufacture it. But I guess a cat got in there. Owner discovered one night that the lights were on, so he looked in the window and saw cats dancing on the tables wearing napkins on their heads because napkins kept disappearing and stuff. So they built a little shrine to appease the spirit of the cat that was jacking with their stuff at night, stealing their napkins so they could wear them on their heads and party.
That's weird.
Did you know that in Japan that they actually have places where you can go in and instead of feeding yourself, you actually buy food and they have cats all over and you just feed the cats and they hang out with you and it's like a stray cat little home.
Yeah.
Konnichiwa.
There's actually an island where there's the cat population is larger than the human population.
Oh, I want to
Is
live
that where you
there.
want to go?
I do.
I want to
That's
live
where
there
you
too.
wanna go.
Yeah.
My sister actually
Sold.
went to
I
Japan.
can
She
get
said
rid of
it's
both.
pretty freaking cool.
But yeah, there's a
Like I'll sell you for one cat.
they have a little shrine in a subway system to appease the spirit of one of these cats. A lot of interesting.
So
things on
they
here
take
so
this
far.
pretty serious.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
This is
Yeah.
an ongoing like thing that.
But that goes back to like pharaoh ages. Like their cats were their main like sidekick and they want to be buried with their cats and I mean they were pharaoh like cats to pharaohs were like almost as if they were like gods.
Well,
and
the
spirits.
ancient Egyptians believed that cats were the guardians of the underworld. That's why they took care of cats.
That's why all the pictures they were half man, half cat.
Well,
That's true.
jackals and eagles and hawks, things like that too.
yeah.
Yeah, they had all kinds of mythological creatures.
If only I could get treated like a cat, y'all. I would be made in the shade.
Go to Japan.
Yeah, I need to go to Japan. Then
Pretend
be
to be a
like,
cat.
look at that feline.
Then they'll make you a shrine and
Japan
give you
scares me,
plenty of
though.
napkins to wear on
Well,
your head.
that's not true. I may end up in one of them little homes where nobody does anything but buy food for the cats. And I can
For
eat
you?
all day and be fat and happy.
But I could have
Laid
spent
up like an old
I could have
house
spent
cat.
all day just studying up on Japan's mythology and their creatures because it's just so neat. Some of the things they have on here.
Yeah, Japan has a lot of crazy mythology on their cryptids and stuff, and hell, a lot of them became Pokemon. Like that's where a lot of the Pokemon came from. Is all this
Mewtwo.
mythology?
Yeah.
I don't-
Mewtwo is a form of a cat.
Well, yeah, and but I don't know what exactly
It's like
mythology.
a cat dragon.
But
A psychic cat. It's like
It
it's a
is.
psychic
like a-
cat, and it was created in a lab.
Okay,
Well,
nerds.
okay.
I didn't get the exact point
on,
going
on, on
there.
that note, though, some of that one of the Chinese cultures believes that a cat with a long tail can control you.
Oh, and they do have bobcats, where people actually
That's-
bob
well,
the tails off of the cats.
That's why a lot of in China, a lot of the cats you see over there have bob tails, is because the culture back then believed long-tailed cats could control your mind. So they snipped the tails, and through natural selection, bob-tailed house cats became the norm.
So what if you did that in Japan with this mythology? Is that considered evil, and like that cat's gonna come back and
you bob
F
their
up?
tail.
Back in the day, probably, since China and Japan were, have
They're
always
like,
been
"We
kind of at odds with
understand
each
what
other.
You're trying to do.
Well, even long-tail cats, you see a long-tail cat in China to this day, they'll kill it because the myth, it's a bad omen for them.
Wow.
Yeah. But Japanese, they're like, kitties. It's like, let's treat them good because look at all these stories, look at our history.
It is
Yeah.
pretty amazing.
Okay, well, what's the good fortune, the little thing that goes
That's
like
the
this?
Bakeneko.
Yes. I didn't know that's what it was called. I
Yeah.
want one of those, but it has to be given to you.
We bought
Yes,
ours.
it has to be gifted.
It's bad luck.
Well, she
but
bought it
not
and gave it to
necess-
me.
Yeah, so I gifted
Oh,
it
so
to
you
him.
got the loophole.
No,
But-
Yeah,
you're
we,
supposed to-
we found the fine print.
Not
and-
always so. Okay, so I actually, man, I wish
You're
that I
supposed
had
to
it.
give it
On
it
my
to
old
him.
phone,
You're
I
supposed to
actually
be
had
giving
it.
to you.
There's a difference between the right hand and the left hand. There's a difference between white, pink, gold. I mean,
I
there's
didn't know
difference
that.
between colors, everything.
I asked
so
the people at Taiwan
I
how I
think
could
they'll-
get one, and they said somebody's got to give one to you. It means good fortune. So some of you have to receive.
well, you can
one.
go to Sam Moon though and get one all day long.
No, last time I bought a Buddha, we had all kinds of bad luck that day because we thought he was cute, and we bought the Buddha, and everything went wrong.
He's cute, all right. He's like, bitch.
It's like, oh, the
He
Buddha.
burned. He melted our starter. Our car wouldn't start. Our phone went dead. Everything. So we threw Buddha out the window.
I don't think Buddha's sitting there going, oh, you think I'm cute, huh? I'm going to fuck up your shit.
And something
It's a
happened.
bad day for you.
Yeah.
You probably should have built a shrine to it and worshipped it afterwards, and treated it
just
nice.
bought
Yeah, I
it.
think you're
Right.
supposed to throw
We
flowers.
just bought it. We
around
went
or
and ate.
something.
Bought the Buddha. We went
Did
shopping.
you buy Buddha a sandwich or anything?
See,
Oh, there
you
you
bought
go.
him.
Yeah.
They probably
You
should have
didn't take
gave you
care
the
of him.
Buddha.
You bought them while you were full. Buddha
We
It's
bought
tasty.
them at a Chinese
wants
restaurant,
to
and
eat.
then all of a sudden everything went south after
They
we
should have
bought
gave
him.
it to you, and that's where they get you.
I
Right.
want one of those
Bad
cats though.
Well,
Tell you
back-
what, you get me one, I'll get you one.
And didn't they actually have a
but
big?
You buy one and then
12-inch
you give one to
Bakeneko.
somebody, right?
I'll gift you one.
No, actually, okay. So these are how they're
I
inherited
just
really
don't want
within
any
the
bad
world.
luck.
Is if you are a business owner, whoever you buy from, if it's in that culture, then they will send you your product plus the Bakeneko, and you set it on the shelf, and that Bakeneko is now a gift.
Do they all mean
from
different
a business
things?
owner,
Yeah.
so that you gain money through their product. But each one means different things. I think if it's their left
Yes,
hand,
this cat has his paws raised and says waiting in good fortune for its owners. Other common monikers include lucky cat, money cat, welcoming cat.
I think I just want a welcoming cat.
Yeah, I like welcoming cat too.
I don't want to get too greedy.
So where do you buy
whatever,
these
mine's
things
a
at?
better wave.
Amazon.
Really good and really fast.
Mm.
But what's funny about these things though is that they work off batteries. So it's like, oh, your money fortune's low, and
They should
and
be
it quit
solar.
working.
They should be all natural.
Oh well,
Come
guess
from
what?
sunlight.
Just throw some batteries in it, and your money's gonna keep coming. Your good fortune continues as long as you throw 3 AA batteries in there.
That was ugly.
Okay, so back to our cryptids.
That was
Sorry.
Okay.
Toni, since you didn't bring anything to the table,
Yep.
which do you believe out of the 3? Which one do you believe in? Could you believe in the most? Kristen's furry fish, my vampire beast cat, or the how do you describe it? Yours.
Basically, it's a shape-shifting. Oh, it's a shape-shifting cat. Because that's another thing. It could. There were like myths of it turning into humans too.
Oh
At
shit!
some
If
point,
you,
yeah.
if you bury it in the pet cemetery, it may turn into an alien. Shapeshifting.
I
You never know.
Well, I don't
Scroll
know.
down
I don't-
farther. I bet you it's there.
So are we going into
there-
reincarnation?
There is a bunch of kanji and kana down here that it might say pet cemetery with an alien, but I never bothered to
imagine?
translate.
Having a cat that you.
Yours, Toby. Your, what was it called? Bladenboro?
Y'all can't even pronounce it, so don't even try to sit there and make it sound
Okay,
good.
I understand that
It'd be some
Bladenboro?
Bladenboro.
Bladenboro.
that one
Bladenboro.
I can't believe because of the whole
But I made it sound
goat
so good.
thing. But I can understand whoever, if that they do have a lot of goats, then yeah. And then they had tracks, but tracks can be.
Do you believe that one's unbelievable because it probably had to do with something with the mayor hyping it up to get?
Yes, I think over exaggeration had a big part to do with it.
What about Rudy's cat that the belief?
Shapeshifter cat?
Well, the belief of like, if you treat cats like crap, then that will come back and ruin your day, or if you treat them good, then they're just gonna be.
Yeah, I
cute.
don't believe that because I treat cats like crap all the time, and I'm perfectly okay.
coming to get
you're
you.
going to
The
burn.
furfish, I do have to say, I believe. But I did look it up before we started this, and I could not find any pictures of this furfish thing.
But
But
it sounds
it
good,
was-
though. It
she
sounds
made-
good, though, if it does shed its fur.
I like that idea. Like, it's furry. It grows fur during the winter to keep warm, and then it sheds it in the
But then
summer,
that would
and
be
that's
a
when people
mammal. It wouldn't be considered a fish if it grew hair to keep itself warm. It'd be a mammal. So it'd be something. It had to be something other than a fish.
You never know.
I don't
Fish
know about
could-
that.
What if
It
what if
has
there's-
to. If you have hair to keep yourself warm, anything that has hair, whales are mammals.
But it has gills.
Yeah.
So it's a fish.
And it has to be in deep, dark.
How do you know it has
cold water.
gills? You can't find a picture of it.
I did at the Museum of Hoaxes.
We don't know if it's really a hoax or not.
I tried to find a
Museum-
picture of it to look at it, and all I saw was
Hold on, let me
the,
clear my throat. Museum of Hoaxes.
Cha-ching!
Excuse me, don't try to make yourself look good over there.
I'm not trying to make myself look good. I
Mine
know
could
mine's
be
fake. Don't even
good.
believe in mine.
I think
Mine's
that
not
mine
cool.
that I was gonna do, but I didn't do my research, is probably would kick all of y'all's asses. I was gonna do mine on the chupacabra, and you can
Then
find
bring
videos.
the main-
Bring the
Mainstream.
fuel force of it.
You
then.
can find videos on YouTube of videos of the chupacabra.
The little stray dog that's running through Mexico killing
Man,
things.
that's just a dog with reverse Zika virus. Come
Yeah.
on.
No,
The rabid dog running through Mexico
It's the
killing
chupacabra.
things.
That was actually South Texas.
Ah, look at that chupacabra.
I did
that video.
Mhm.
Yeah.
See, told y'all. Came across the border. Border Patrol didn't get that one.
Get Donald
It
Trump
was
on it.
already
You'll get rid
headed
of the
for the
chupacabra.
border.
I guarantee you that thing would jump that Donald Trump's wall. Be like, rawr. But I don't know. Pretty. I don't know. I can't really say that I believe in
Pick
any
one.
of
You
them.
gotta pick one.
Yeah, one. We're holding a gun to your head. Pick one. Which one's the believable one?
We're really
I
not.
can't believe
holding a
yours
gun.
that come back into humans.
Why not? That's why you should pick mine. It's the most unbelievable of the three.
I have a cat.
Because then
that's
that would
gone,
be reincarnation, the opposite form.
I will say
instead of
this, I was
animal
very
going
good to her.
human.
And she actually got put to sleep because they thought that she wouldn't get along with the dog, and she was my cat. So if anybody should come back and haunt me, and she, unless Tom is the
Wait, let
form
me-
of her
well-
in boy version, and then yes, I am haunted.
Was your cat Japanese though?
She had glowing
Did you
green
ask?
eyes.
My cat has green eyes, but he's not Japanese.
No, she was a glowing green.
How do you tell
eye-
a Japanese cat
But
from
she was
an
really mean.
American
She
cat?
didn't like anybody
The way
else.
they meow.
She didn't like anybody else except for me. Like if anybody else tried to pet her, she'd bite them. But
Well,
if
that's-
I had her, she was good.
That's kind of how cats are, though. Is they get territorial with their humans.
Okay, Kristen.
Mine hates people, except me.
So
Everyone else.
about your source about it being the USA did catch, and then they might have skinned it, eat it, made slippers with the fur. So how was
I
that?
thought that was a
But
funny
then they
story.
tried to catch it by pretending to be barbers.
I
Come
know.
on.
So
I said
where?
those are funny stories
What
about
was
what
the source
happened.
though? What was your? Where did you get that from?
My source
Was
is
it Wikipedia?
No, not Wikipedia.
No, that's not where mine's from.
It better not be.
It's not.
Can't believe Wikipedia.
In 2015, there was actually a guy who actually was in Wisconsin, and he actually caught a fur fish, but it has yet to be dubbed false nor true. So, you never know. But there
I'm
is
gonna
a
have to
thing.
go with the fur fish.
But this is a thing, though. It could be a fur
offense.
fish.
Maybe
No,
just
no,
seaweed.
no, it's
And-
fine.
And even though I don't think it's as furry as what people are making out to be. I think that is a hoax, and it is with the rabbit fur. But you do have the fungus that is the white cotton, which makes them look furry. And if it goes AWOL and it's wild, then yes, then you could have an extra furry fish because of the freaking fungus.
All I'm saying is that I believe that one because look at all the species of fish that there is.
The Loch Ness, he's on the
There's
cryptids.
the blowfish. There's the piranha.
And there is actually that hairy fish that I mentioned that actually does have patches of hair. It's not fur, but it is patches of hair.
Gross.
And he has like the wing-like features.
And then there's the megalodon.
There's a bunch of cat cryptids.
Siamese, Japanese.
Are you gonna dirty Needles? Are you really? Are you?
I was trying, but I wasn't gonna do it because I was like,
Let's go ahead and wrap this episode. Please stick around for the Kids Explain Everything segment.
Kids explain everything.
Hello and welcome to Kids Explain Everything. I have two little guests with me today. What are your names?
Gibson.
And Logan Grisham.
How old are y'all?
6.
8.
Okay. What do you know about Bigfoot?
You see them come out of the woods, you just will run away and they'll be big.
They're big?
Yeah.
What do you know about Bigfoot?
I'll scream to death and scream my head off.
If you saw one?
Yes.
Wow, what do they look like?
They look like they have a hairy head, big toes, big hands, and big noses. Probably not big noses. But
A little old man. So.
Little old men?
yeah.
Yeah, with a little tiny circle glasses and nothing.
What do you think Bigfoot eats?
Deer, meat.
No, lettuce and salad.
Lettuce and salad
Yeah,
and deer
they're
meat.
really
Y'all
mean.
got two different kinds of Bigfoots.
Yeah.
Okay, so now tell me, what do you know about the chupacabra?
Oh.
Who is that?
What is the chupacabra? Do you know what the chupacabra is, Logan?
It's mixed up with a wolf.
It's a mix with a wolf. A wolf and what?
Probably a dog? I forgot.
A wolf and a dog. What's it do?
It kills you.
Why would it kill you?
Because they're dangerous and they'll still kill you and you go,
Do you know where to find them?
Probably New Mexico.
New Mexico. Good job. So you don't know what the chupacabra is? Okay. Let's see.
A wolf and a chicken and a duck.
A chicken and a duck?
Yeah. They just so pink at you. Like this. Ah!
Well,
This one and do this. La, 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 la.
that sounds like a crazy chupacabra. Well, these are just a couple of cryptids. Have you ever heard that word before?
Nuh-uh.
Cryptids?
No.
Okay. They're usually made up creatures or creatures that can't be proven that are real. So that's all they are.
So chupacabras ain't real. Or Bigfoot.
That's what we believe they could be. That's going to be it for this Kids Explain Everything. Do you guys want to say bye?
Peace.
All right, bye.
Bye. Kids explain everything.
Well, that's going to end our first episode covering a few cryptids. In the future, we'll probably do more episodes covering different types of cryptids, and if we learn anything new about the ones that we've already talked about, we'll probably talk about them again. But as for right now, please go subscribe to us on Twitter at SecretTranspod, at SecretTranspod. Also, please go give us a review on iTunes, and don't forget to subscribe. The reviews really help us out. Our show is also available on Stitcher, YouTube, and Google Play. You just search for Secret Transmission Podcast. If you do have any other suggestions, you can just email us at secrettransmission@hotmail.com. We'll be posting a new episode every 2 weeks, so please come back and listen to us try to explain the unexplainable.
to say goodbye, Roger.